What's going on, folks? Welcome into another edition of the ASRA Harpoon Design Cup Series. Here today from Indianapolis Motor Speedway, the infamous and just world-renowned 2.5-mile rectangle here at Indianapolis. Man, I cannot wait for this one. Always a fun time here. Pretty tricky, hard to pass for sure with this next-gen car, but always is a good race. Crown Jewel event number 2 for us on the schedule. They're going to be a lot of fun. And man, going to be a lot of racing today. 88 laps on the way today. Going to be a good one. Right now, down trackside. Qualifying underway currently. Let's go down trackside and take a look at what's going on this famous track right here. James Thurston on track. Looking pretty good. Already finished his lap. Let's bring in the qualifying times. There he is, James Thurston, currently top of the board, 50.71. Looking very fast. Who else is on track? Here we go. Jackson Anderson. Bunch of guys here making their lap times around. A lot to cover today. So again, Crown Jewel event. There's 4 of them on the season. Charlotte in a couple weeks. Daytona in the playoffs. Uh-oh. Jackson might have found the wall there, and he did. Chad Oxendine, here he comes around. Fast as usual, but yeah, Crown Jewel event number 2. We had Darlington earlier on in the season. Indianapolis today. And then Charlotte in a couple of weeks, and then Daytona. So the 4 big Crown Jewel races, a bit longer than our normal ones. Also 3 stage ends. So keep that in mind too. We'll cover that in just a bit in the race details, but on the longer side of a race today, but a lot of points up for grabs. 3 chances to get stage points. Jordan Fisher right now at P5. Wyatt Tinsley up front, 50.69. Very, very fast as usual. John Cutlip looking to get himself around here at this famous track as well. So today, as they're qualifying, Amelia on track as well. Bunch of guys looking really, really good today. Early on. Kenny Reel, not too bad. Getting around here. Kevin King on track as well. Looking to see where he can finish. Pretty solid stuff right now. A little bit of a lighter crowd today, about 25-ish cars, which is kind of shocking to me, but then again, it's not. I think we'll get back into that too throughout the race. I've got some thoughts on that. Maybe in the warm-up we'll talk on that too, but yeah, definitely a lighter crowd today, but I understand it. Long race at Indianapolis, that is not super desirable, but it can happen. Wyatt Tinsley right now on top of the board. Looks like he will be the pollster today for the Harpoon Design 200 here from Indianapolis. Man, Wyatt is just on an absolute generational run lately this season, and looking to be yet again another winner. So quick warm-up session, about 5 minutes here. They'll go out and take a break or grab a drink of water, adult Capri Sun, I don't know, all kinds of different things they can do. Pit road entry, pit road exit, things like that. So a couple of updates. Brandon Bowie, our good friend, will not be in the booth with us tonight. He's going to be subbing in for Matthew Kent, our normal race control, but he's out today doing some things. So Brandon's going to step in the race control booth today and try that out for a change. So pretty cool there. Appreciate the help from him. So you are stuck with me tonight and me alone. It's all good. We're going to have a lot of fun today. Again, 88 laps on track right now. Not a bad move right here. A bunch of guys, pit party. Quick practice, not a bad idea right now. So let's real quick thank some sponsors. We'll come right back for the beginning of this race. All right, welcome back, folks. It is almost the beginning of our Harpoon Design 200 here from Indianapolis Motor Speedway. Right now, watching everyone warm up real quick, but a big race definitely on tap for today. So, quick reminder, today is one of our Crown Jewel event races. What that means is it's a season-long in-season tournament. Those 4 races I mentioned before: Darlington, Indianapolis, Daytona, and Charlotte in a couple weeks. Points from all 4 of those races are combined in total, and the points leader out of those 4 races will be the Crown Jewel champion. Get a spiffy little trophy here from Sick Trophies. Appreciate them, and you can go and check them out on Facebook and on sicktrophies.com. All the while, we have the mid-season madness underway as well. We have all kinds of things going on right now. So, in-season tournament, our middle season tournament, the mid-season madness, right now underway. This is the race, the finale race for that tournament. There's 4 drivers going for it, as you can see on your tower here. They'll be in pink. So, Kevin King, Wyatt Tinsley, Kenny Brady, and James Thurston, will be the 4 drivers who are going for that mid-season madness tournament winner. They'll be in pink on your tower once the race gets going, and the winner out of those 4, the one who finishes ahead of the other 3, will be the winner for that as well. So all kinds of fun stuff going on. Obviously, playoffs are creeping in pretty soon. This is the 7th race of the season. After this, we go to North Carolina for 3 races. Our same state showdown quickly approaching. Rockingham next week, followed by the Roval, and then followed by Charlotte, the Oval. So that'll be mirrored to the Coke 600, more or less. Kind of a long race, and then we'll get down into the playoffs. So going to be a lot of fun. Warm-up just about done right now. We'll get this race underway here momentarily. Appreciate everybody, by the way, showing up on race day on a Tuesday night, checking in on the stream and liking, subscribing, doing all those fun things, those YouTube buttons. We appreciate it. So once again, 88 laps here from Indianapolis Motor Speedway. Right now, we're going to get down trackside to get this race going right now. Man, this is going to be a lot of fun. Hard racing surface, obviously. Definitely takes some time. Going to be hard, too, to qualify, which it looks like a couple of guys did. Kevin King right down there in P20. So a bunch of guys already not looking too great in that qualifying effort, but we're going to go down anyway. Take a look at what's going on down here. So Wyatt Tinsley, P1 on the board again. Not surprising. Very, very fast. Looking like it again here in Indianapolis. James Thurston, P2. Looking pretty good. Your Season 8 champion. Looking to get his first win of the season. Possibly here today. Van Drugmans, again, another one. Already has a race win under his belt today. This season, bad luck last week. Looking to bounce back today in P3. John Hagan, P4. Back from his 1-race suspension from last week. Looking to capitalize and look pretty good. Jordan Fisher, P5. John Cutlip, still looking for his first win. Both of these guys, actually. Here he is right here in P6. Blaze Crawford. Good to see him in here from the Coke Series. Michael Johnson, followed by Devin Smecker and Kenny Brady in P10. Rest of the field here, Trevor Zelazny, Ethan Delaire, Max Brady, Trevor Huff, Joseph Mealy, Grant Salzano, Austin Halsey in P17. Chad Oxendine didn't get a great qualifying lap, but the man on our thumbnail today looking to get his first win on the season. Paul Mikulajczyk right there in 19th. Not too bad. Kevin King in P20. Has some work to do to get front and center there. Jackson Anderson, Kenny Reel, Julio Villalobos will have to serve a drive-through penalty at the beginning of this race based on a penalty he received post-race of last week. Austin Salyers in P24. Matthew Blackley was on track, but doesn't look like he's starting this race. So looks like that is it for the field. 24 drivers in today's race. Again, a lighter field today. Shocking. But again, we'll get back into that. I have some thoughts on that. We will get into it. So, race details on the day today. Let's take a look. 88 laps, 3 stage ends. Again, Crown Jewel events have 3 stage ends, more chances to get points. So lap 22, 44, 66. Nice and easy. Split the race into quarters. But keep in mind, once stages end, we do not throw the yellows anymore. So we will continue to be green, and off we go. 75% fuel, 0 fast repairs, and 3 green-white checkers if necessary. That's the race details. Lap 1 about to hit right here. Expect long green flag runs today. Kind of a lighter crowd, so less chances, I feel like, to have cautions. Will we go green here from Indianapolis? We're about to find out. Either way, Tinsley, Thurston looking to get themselves a win. Starter has the green flag in the air. Geico restart zone. And here we go. A Tuesday night, Indianapolis. We're underway. Already 3 wide right here. Looks like Blaze Crawford, John Cutlip in that mix-up right there. Man, passing is so difficult at this track. The best chance to do it is right now on these restarts. And with the way this setup is, you just don't know if we're going to get any restarts. No guaranteed yellows in this race. Looking great so far. A couple of guys getting loose right there. Grant Salzano got really, really close to spinning out. It looked like he was all over the place, but collected himself. Looking pretty good. Kevin King on the outside here, and on the front row, Wyatt Tinsley leads lap number 1. Got a feeling this is going to be a measure of endurance today. I feel like this is one of those tracks that, man, it is just so difficult to pass on with this next gen. And quite honestly, that could be a reason why majority of our field isn't here today, right? That could be a big portion, actually about half at this point, really. Missing about 20 guys, but hey, that can be a big play. You know, you come to one of these tracks and you're like, oh man, like, I don't know if I want to do this, right? I totally get it. Villalobos, by the way, serving his drive-through penalty from a post-race penalty from last week, so there he is. Not out of it. Not the worst thing, I guess, to do a drive-through, especially here at Indianapolis. The place is so big. You can afford a drive-through right now and maybe get a quick caution. You're right back into it with no issues at all. So, Tinsley up front, Thurston, Hagen, Drugmans, and Crawford all up front. And again, the drivers in pink on your tower are the Mid-Season Madness 4 drivers from the in-season tournament. They all got here through head-to-head matchups. And these are the 4. So it's championship style. So the driver out of those 4 who finish ahead of the other 3 will become the in-season tournament winner. Tinsley, we know how good he is lately. 3 wins on the season so far already. And man, he is just on fire. So good. Class of the field. Could have probably won every race so far, to be honest. But obviously different factors have come in and whatnot. But strategies. But he is just on a different level. And cool to see for sure. Back in the field, we just saw a couple of guys bouncing off the wall there. Who was that? Ethan Delaire, I believe. There he is, the 99 machine. Right side looks pretty clean, so no worries there. Kenny Reel making a move on the inside of Halsey way back here in 22nd. Yeah, really not too bad there for him. So looking pretty good. I got to say, right? I mean, this might be a good time to talk about it just because, hey, why not? But, just some thoughts on it. Hey, 24 drivers today in the race, not bad. And for those of you who don't know, humbly, I'm also the league owner for this series, and and Bowie would actually be a good one to bounce off of, but he's right now race controlling. But I feel like with 24 drivers, hey, a great field, great chance to go green majority of this race, and hey, there's still 24 of our elite drivers, so definitely can have some great racing here. But I feel like, listen, let's be honest, right? The first 5 races were pretty rough. Racing wasn't great. Racecraft was pretty terrible. And a lot of yellows, a lot of just not having any fun, right? From our end to the driver's end. I get it, right? And when that happens, you know, I've been doing this now for 9 seasons and I've raced in many other leagues, right? And you kind of get to a point where you're like, yeah, you know what? I understand why people left or aren't racing right now. I get it. So at this point, hey, we made some changes before last week's race, before Texas, and Texas was a pretty good race. I got to say, that was enjoyable. As right now we're seeing Devin Smecker go way down low here, trying to break that draft from Huff and Michael Johnson. Doing a pretty good job there too in P11. But I think, you know, looking at it really, I think now is a good time to say, you know what, we're going to reset the season. We're going to kind of get back on track, so to speak. And that's what we're doing. I think a good race in Texas, followed by what seems like already to be a good race here from Indianapolis. And then maybe perhaps next week in Rockingham, right? Kind of build some momentum, get the drivers back, get them excited again to want to race, to want to compete, you know, around guys who can make it happen. And I think that's what we're doing. So growing pains, right? Sometimes seasons can go like that. We haven't had a season like this, I feel like, since season 4. And that was a season that was pretty rough, to be honest. But we made changes similarly. And man, we came back strong after that. So, which I feel like we will now as well. So look at this, though, as we're talking about Kenny Brady here. Jordan Fisher side by side. Fisher going to get into the wall there a little bit. So tough right now. Kenny Brady has the benefit of that low line, but it is tough. You can actually make the outside lane work here a little bit, but it's just not easy. You really have to drive it in hard, get alongside of him. The tires are going to wear out pretty strong here. Now, the tire fall off, at least to me, in my opinion, it's really not that bad. You might lose a second over the course of 20, 30 laps, maybe a second and a half, but it's not terrible. And that's also why it's just a hard track to race on. Fall off is just not that bad at all. But they're still side by side. And you can see Zelazny right here in P9 trying to get to him. Let's go cockpit cam right here. You can see it. I mean, look at how tight they are right in front. And when you're Zelazny, it's like, man, like, what am I going to do here? You got to be so patient. He's going to think 3 wide, but that is a terrible idea to do. Going to go with Kenny Brady here to try and follow him through to that preferred lane. Ooh, little contact there from Zelazny and Fisher. Max Brady going to sneak in right there, and Fisher going to find out the hard way. Unfortunately, right there, but that's a good kind of microcosm of how hard it is to pass here and make things happen. Now, look at this. Fisher got a good momentum there, going to be on the inside of Max Brady. Will find himself side by side here as Devin Smecker now going to try and sneak his way through too. Great pass actually right there by Fisher to get that done. Very impressive for him. So back up front, lap 9. Wyatt Tinsley out front commandingly. James Thurston, Hagan, Drugman, and Crawford in the top 5. Majority, actually the entirety of the field right now is single file. So this is kind of, we're going to be in that grunge mode now, right? We're going to be in that, in the trenches. This track has always historically been one of those that can go green for a long time. Now, again, 75% fuel. You can go probably 25 laps, I believe, if my notes are correct here, on fuel. So what do, right? Do you just split the race into quarters? Do you race this way backwards? A lot can go down here in this race, but man, looking good so far. A long one in the books today. Grant Salzano in P19 had a great run a couple of weeks back. Looking to try and do the same thing here now, but currently in P19. Let's do a couple of things here. Hold on. Let's do some. Let's get a peep the paints going right now. Grant Salzano. Look at this crazy good work right here. Harpoon designed paint, obviously. CT Flyers out of Chester, Connecticut. A pilot in his spare time is Grant Salzano, and that paint right there is based off of, if I'm correct, one of his Cessna planes. Same similar paint scheme, and man, looking pretty good right there in that Ford Mustang. So, love it. Always looking good, man, these Harpoon design paints. Chris Lewis in the chat, 28 laps on fuel. Okay, I appreciate that. My notes were not terribly far off, but good to know. That is great. So that tells, oh, hold on. Michael Johnson comes down pit road actually here on lap 11. What's going on here with Michael Johnson? Is he taking tires, right sides? Interesting call. Only right side tires here. What is that? Okay, we'll watch out for Michael Johnson as this race unfolds. But very interesting, as Wyatt Tinsley going to come across the line here, has led every lap so far across the yard of bricks. And again, this is just one of those, you got to get into a rhythm. It's 4 corners. So hard to get into a rhythm here. You don't want to mess it up, man. It is just so... And it's funny because this track, right, it's a rectangle. You know, from a 30,000 foot view, it looks like it's the same corners, same style. No, it's actually very different. Turns 1 and 2, to me at least, are much different than 3 and 4. 1 and 2 just seem kind of tighter. You have to lift off the throttle more. You have to kind of ease into the corner more, at least to me, into 1. 3 and 4 though is pretty good. You can really fly around 3 and 4 more than 1 and 2. But lap 12, 10 laps away now from stage 1's completion. Again, we do not throw stage cautions, so we're going to go straight through. We're going to make it happen. So right now, Tinsley, Thurston, Hagen, Drugman, Crawford, still your top 5. And a couple of guys, too, I feel like, who are back here. You know, I think this is a great place to kind of play some games, right? I'm looking at Michael Johnson. Comes down pit road right here, takes the 2 right side tires and in fuel, right? So what does he have planned? That to me tells me, you know what? The fall off is just not that hardcore here. This might be a good move to say, you know what? Okay, I'm taking right sides now, taking fuel. I'm going to stay out at the stage end. Once everyone comes down for green flag stops, and he'll stay out. Perhaps, you know, maybe he's working this race backwards. I like the idea, if that is the case. And that makes sense, actually. So I'm looking at, did some quick math. If it is 28 laps, you know, per fuel stint, you know, Michael Johnson just came down pit road right there on lap 12, 11-12. So if that's the case, that means he can make it on fuel with 3 more stops. I like it, right? If you anticipate this race going green the majority of the time, you know what? I think that's a good play. Reverse this race completely. As a man, look at this Oxendine here. Kevin King as well. Devin Smecker, all passing through. Man, making a really good effort right here. Oxendine still trying to go into it right here. Down, ooh, little wiggle. Smecker into the wall. But man, yeah, that draft is so key here. So far, fantastic racing, obviously single file for the most part. This is one of those tracks where I got to admit, right? I mean, you know, from a broadcast perspective, it can definitely get like this. You know, single file racing, not necessarily the most exciting thing in the world, but, you know, this is the racing we want, right? We don't want 10 plus cautions a race. We just don't. Now, cautions are going to happen, right? And that's fine, but an excessive amount of them is just no fun. I mean, look at our first 3 or 4 races, right? Just unacceptable. Can't be having that. And I've always said, you know, right, I'd rather complain, or I'd rather hear complaints about a race going green for too long or for the entire time versus a caution fest, right? every single time. And right now, this is a great race so far. So 5 laps away now from stage 1's end on lap 22. Immediately, a bit of a blinking situation right there. Just saw him in and out of the server. Looking good though right now in 16th. But as always, again, go and check out harpoondesign.com. Get your paint scheme, man. Hey, awesome paint schemes all around. Kenny Brady right here. Again, going for that mid-season madness tournament win. Very good stuff today. But lap 17, making it happen. Also, by the way, if we do get yellow flags, there's no choose car today. Because, again, Bowie is doing race control and doing his thing. So we'll just revert to our alternate rule of the start-finish line. But, man, Tinsley, I got to say, out front right now, about 0.8 of a second. Thurston is still kind of right there. They have not... I mean, that gap has just not changed for a little bit. And this is going to be one of those races, too. Again, Hagen, third spot. It's going to be kind of a grind, right? Long green flag runs here. So what that tells me, hey, you got to keep the rubber on the car, right? You can't wear it off. Not only that, you really need to, man, make sure that you nail your pit stops. They can be difficult here. Pit lane is just so tight here. Exit is not super easy as well. You gotta be careful not to get onto that grass or past the painted lines to get a penalty, but a lot can happen for sure. As everyone here trying to get around Paul Mikulajczyk here around Grant Salzano. Doing his thing. Oh, man, Grant, huge hit right there to turn 1. Damage doesn't seem actually that bad. Let's take a look. Right side. Not a great angle there, but, man, definitely pounded that wall hard. I can see the right side damage a little bit, but not terrible. He might be okay. But definitely has to get through for sure. Halsey, let's take a look at him, because this paint scheme... I have not seen this one yet. Do a little peep the paint action. Look at this, 82 love. What does that say? Love life on the side? Okay. Not sure if that's like his, gamer tag or whatnot, but looking good. Love the purple. Love that sheen. Not bad. Not bad at all for Austin Halsey. So Tinsley right now still, man, 20 laps into this race, 2 laps away from deciding the stage 1 winner. Looking really good right now for Wyatt Tinsley, looking fantastic. Michael Johnson still on the lead lap, by the way, Villalobos as well. So they are both on the lead lap. Villalobos again had that penalty from earlier on. Wasn't able to, or hasn't got a lap done yet, which is great. So looking to get himself back on that lead lap. Needs a caution, I feel like, to get that to happen effectively. Michael Johnson came down pit road. 2 tires, 2 right side tires, and then fuel. So he is still on that lead, tail end lead lap. As Wyatt Tinsley here going to come around 3 and 4 and take stage 1. There he is, a stage 1 winner, Wyatt Tinsley. Going to get the job there done. Stage 1 winner. We stay green. James Thurston in P2. Unofficially, of course. Hagen, Drugman, Crawford, Cutlip, Brady, Fisher, Zelazny, and then Max Brady, all in the top 10. One driver down pit road. Grant Salzano could not wait any longer. I think that right side damage might have affected him a little bit more than he wanted it to. And he is down pit road, looking to get those fresh tires and fixing that damage. Gonna go a lap down here, but everyone else has to come down pit road here in about 5 laps. So expect that to happen here relatively shortly. So up front, Tinsley, Thurston, Hagen, Drugman, and then Crawford once again. Man, looking pretty good. Green flag stage 1. No one else coming down pit road just yet. Grant Salzano did come down, actually still on pit road here. Thought he came down for a normal green flag stop, but unfortunately still on pit road. So we're going to go down multiple laps, maybe had bigger damage than what we were led to believe. That's unfortunate for sure, but man, tough break. Back in the field, Michael Johnson via Lobos. Not quite going into lap down yet, but they are definitely getting close to it. Halsey, Salyers clinging on to that as well. Bunch of guys just kind of holding on to their stuff for now. Devin Smecker qualified really well. Well, 10th, I guess. Has lost 5 spots on the day so far, but looking pretty good so far. Again, long race. Matter of attrition. And it's funny too, because again, you know, when you have Kevin King on the move, as Max Brady and Jordan Fisher come down pit road here for scheduled pit stops on lap 25, as well as Joseph Mealy now. So green flag stops are well underway here in Indianapolis. Halsey as well. Good stuff. Got to be careful here, right? Clean stop. Cannot mess it up. Ooh, as we see Max Brady go through his box a little bit. Not going to waste a lot of time there, but definitely not going to be ideal. Everyone else getting their tires and fuel, and off they go. Wyatt Tinsley, when do the leaders come? I feel like if you're a leader in the top 5, maybe even top 10, for me, I'm probably not going to come down pit road until I have to. I want to make sure that, yes, even though this is a 2.5 mile track, it's huge. I don't want to risk the chance of going a lap down or finding myself into a weird strategy loophole where I can't get out of it, right? Again, so hard to pass. This is one of those tracks, for me as a driver, you know, I say I have to keep myself in the front as much as possible, even if that means older tires, because the wear down in the time difference from new to old is really not huge. And the clean air means so much more of the drafts, right? So hard to pass. Got to stay up front as much as possible. So I expect these guys to come down definitely when they have to, not when they want to. Here we go. Thurston going to take the lead over, but Tinsley comes down pit road here. Surrenders that P1. And there he comes. So leader down, Ethan Delaire as well. Coming, oh man, hard right side, left side damage there. What happened to Delaire? Oh no. Big damage it looks like, unfortunately, but Tinsley going to come down pit road. I'm curious what he does here. I'm assuming, again, 4 tires, fuel. I'm not going to spend too much time here, but we want to see if he gets those 4 tires. They get 5 sets in the entire race, so it just makes sense to do that. But, yes, he does 4. It is. As Thurston comes along here, 3 and 4. And there he is. He's forced to come as well. So Thurston comes down pit road. Zelazny. And this is good news for these hopefuls, right? Like Hagen, Thurston, they all get to lead a lap here. So that's 1 more extra point for their playoff run. And that can be big, right? Again, we're only 3 races away now from the playoffs after this race. We go on the North Carolina. Oh no, Zelazny goes through his box right there. Now finally gets it going. Anderson as well, back behind him. Just saw him had to scoot back. It's tough, man. These pit boxes are the smallest on the circuit, I believe. I mean, they're meant for Indy cars, right? So it's very difficult to nail it. As Van Drogman comes down, oh, look at this bunch of guys into pit road here. Slowing down as much as they can. The rest of the leaders come down pit road, except Drugman and Oxendine. These guys seem like they can go a little bit longer on fuel. It is lap 29. I expect these guys to definitely come this next time by. Blaze Crawford right here. Might be a little bit too far right, but looks to be okay. Kevin King. 4 tires and fuel is the way to go right now. Long race. You want to make sure you put yourself in position to get to the end. As Van Drugman looks like he might be peeling off. There he is. Chad Oxendine next in line here. Definitely expect him to come down pit road. I don't think they can go any longer on fuel. I'll be very shocked if somebody can go 30 laps here. As now Smecker, Mikulajczyk, and that'll bring it back to Wyatt Tinsley. So that's right there. Will be the entire field down pit road. Tinsley should receive P1 once again once he crosses the stripe. So stage 1 well passed, and now stage 2. Forgive me. I should probably update our ticker. There we go. So Smecker down pit road as well. So Wyatt Tinsley, a nice healthy lead right now in the front of the field. Had a great pit stop. Thurston now going to be taking back over into P2 right where he was before, but now a 2.3 second lead. So through that green flag exchange, Tinsley, man, he gained about, what's that, a second and a half right there. That's what it matters about, right? Green flag stops matter so huge. Hagan, 3.5 seconds back. Crawford, 5 seconds back. It's going to be one of those races. Long race, attrition. These fresh tires. Uh-oh, we saw these guys racing earlier on. Kenny Brady and Jordan Fisher side by side once again. Looks like Kenny Brady going to get the best of them right now, it looks like. As Drugman looking as well. Not quite 3 wide there. He might have thought about it. Good stuff right now, though. Lap 31:44 is the next target for stage 2. Looking pretty solid here. So Tinsley up front, Thurston, John Hagan, Blaze Crawford, Michael Johnson in P5. We'll step aside for a quick second, folks. Thanks to some sponsors. If anything happens on track, we'll cut right back to the track and the racing, but stick around, folks. Welcome back, folks. We are once again back in Indianapolis, underway for our Harpoon Design 200, the Crown Jewel event here. Race number 2 of the Crown Jewel from Indianapolis. Also the finishing race of the Mid-Season Madness tournament. Right now, lap 33, just about 10 laps away, give or take, from the stage 2 end and the halfway point. Race is flying by so far. Green flag racing all the way through to now. Wyatt Tinsley has the lead, followed by Thurston, Hagen, Crawford, and then Kenny Brady. Longer race for sure today. One of these Crown Jewel event races are always fun. Darlington a couple of races ago was one of those where it had a lot of storylines going on to it, as Tinsley here going to go and pass the 45 of Villalobos to put him a lap down. Now, this is the unfortunate thing, right, for Villalobos. You know, you unfortunately have an incident submitted against you last week from Texas. And, I mean, here you are now having to serve that drive-through, right? But I haven't gotten that caution to kind of reset you to get yourself back, you know, amongst the competition, you know, but also to get yourself kind of reset. But can't quite get that yet for him, and right now a lap down. So super unfortunate. And that's unfortunately, right, a product of, you know, going green flag racing the entire time, right? I mean, you know, when you remove stage-ending yellows, you remove the idea that, you know, those stages can kind of reset you. Bunch the field back together, which I think we like, right? I think that's not a bad thing. But the reality is, you know, it just creates a situation where more wrecks can happen. And from a sim perspective, it's so hard to kind of witness, you know, caution after caution, especially when those restarts and those stage cautions just aren't super necessary. So unfortunate for, you know, Villalobos who can't get his lap back just yet. Maybe we'll get a caution, maybe we won't, but that's the byproduct of the format. So Tinsley again up front. Lead was coming down a tad, but definitely still right now 2.75. So Thurston looking to be pretty quick here, but again, it's just so hard. Sometimes, you know, you look at like F1, right? They go to Monaco. And man, qualifying is basically the race, right? Because that track is just so difficult, so tight for those cars, you know, those streets that you just cannot pass at all. Anybody who's seen a Monaco Grand Prix race for F1 knows what I mean, but it's tough. And this is kind of, I mean, obviously, you know, that's a road course. This is a, you know, giant rectangle, right? Oval. So it's a bit different, but this is kind of the equivalent of that in a way, right? Wyatt Tinsley got the pole and has that clean air. I don't see anybody passing him straight up on track just because the track is difficult. It's also just, you know, one of those things that the cars here just don't really operate well, but it is Indianapolis. It's worthy of, you know, one of our Crown Jewel events, and we haven't been here in a while, so why not? You just never know. But good stuff so far. Clean racing, 37 laps green, and just about halfway here as we're getting down to it. John Hagen, though, I will say, is catching the back end of Thurston. Has been for a little bit here. Let's ride on board here, John Hagen, for a lap. Kind of get a feeling here for how this track reacts. And right now, I'm going to send it here into turn 1. Downshifts immediately into 4th gear. Turn 2 right here is tricky because on the inside there's no concrete, and so right there, it's hard to really know where to apex that corner. Long straightaway here as well. Drafting is huge. You can see that car getting bigger in the windshield. And then 3 and 4 I prefer. A lot smoother in my opinion. The car just sticks right here, especially in 4. A lot of grip here in 4. And you can just send it off as Hagen fights the wheel. But yeah, really good stuff here. Comes across the yard of bricks. Looking very good so far. So Cutlip right here, a couple of guys making their way through the field. John Cutlip has lost actually 3 spots, but he is on his way Looking pretty good right here. P9 has shown a lot of speed this season. Oh, man, Kevin King, I think, just hit the wall there a little bit. But he's next. He's right now in P8. The driver who has came through the field the most right now is up 12 spots on the race. So he is inching himself closer and closer now. I don't know if he started in the back of the field on purpose, but maybe not. That can happen. But either way, working his way to the front the hard way. Right now, not looking too bad. So P8 for Kevin King. Van Drugman, a way better race right now than he was having last week. I feel like actually the last couple of weeks he wrecked out early, super early, either due to another wreck or his own mistakes. But today a good run. P5 is what he needs. Again, already has that win, so he's locked into the playoffs. But oh, caution flag is out. Austin Salyers. Where is he? Here he is. Oh man. Not good. Car went around. Unfortunate. So our first caution of the day, Austin Salyers looks like goes around here. I believe that was 3 and 4. We'll take a look. So right here, right in front of Halsey. Oh man, just flat loses it. Turn 3, it looks like. Almost saved it right there, but just couldn't get the grip. Yeah, man, unfortunate. Does a really good job by not hitting the wall here. I think just a little smooch. Not bad. So that's really good of him to hold on to that, lock it down, and keep it going. Unfortunately, that'll be our first caution. Was able to save that car, but that'll be a strike, unfortunately, for him for causing a caution. That'll be a drive-through, which is obviously a big bummer. But that's what happened. So our first caution of the day, lap 41. That will also be the stage end. It was within 5 laps of the scheduled stage end. So stage 1 is complete. So Wyatt Tinsley will win stage 2 as well. Now this changes a lot. This changes quite a bit, right? So just about halfway, you get your first stage, or you get your first yellow, really, of the day. This is good news for people like Villalobos, who can potentially be that lucky dog. We'll try and get confirmation of that here in just a second, but maybe get his lap back. But everybody is going to come right now down pit road. Maybe everybody. Hold on. Couple of guys staying out right here. Maybe not a bad move. Mikulajczyk, Oxendine, left side of your screen behind the tower, all staying out, but everyone else down pit road here. Makes plenty of sense. 4 tires, fuel. Do not expect anyone taking 2 tires just yet. I think a late race green flag stop, I can 100% expect some people to take right side tires. It'll actually free up the car too, which is nice. So expect that. Tinsley, first in the box. Obviously, everyone else behind him. And expect those right sides and the left sides to go down. Somebody might be cheeky and trying to take some right sides only, but don't think that'll be the case. We'll go green here right at halfway, it looks like, as everyone comes off of pit road. So looking pretty solid right here. We'll come right back, folks, and rejoin this race. Stage 3 about to be happening here in just a few minutes. Stick around. Welcome back, folks. One to go here for the Harpoon Design 200 here from Indianapolis Motor Speedway. Working our first caution of the day right now. Green flag up until this point. A couple of guys going around the pace car for their wave arounds. And Lucky Dog awards. Good news, obviously, for the likes of Michael Johnson, Paul Mikulajczyk, looks like Jackson Anderson as well. Villalobos as well, all getting their laps back. So this is fantastic news for them. A great restart that they needed to get themselves back into this race. So, majority of the field came down pit road for fuel. And now it's just a matter of the second half of this race. That's going to be how it works out. Lap 66 will be the end of stage 3. Again, 4 stages. 3 stage ends in this race because it is a crown jewel event. Pace car lights are off. I'm going to go back green here in just a second, but man, always a good time from Indianapolis here. Oxendine, by the way, did not come down pit road here, so he is on some kind of interesting strategy that we don't know about. But there he is in P1. Fast enough of a driver to hold on to it. I like the move, right? I don't think tire wear is huge here. I think he can hold his own. We're about to find out. Oxendine, Tinsley, 1 and 2. Thurston, Hagen, Crawford in the top 5. Second half of the race about to be underway here. Unintentionally, a yellow to cut the race in half. But green flag about to be back out. Oxendine leads the field. In the Geico restart zone, we're green. Intensity about to pick up right now. They know this is a good chance to get yourself back into the front. Oh man, 3 wide there. Big calamity. Blaze Crawford into the outside wall. Holds on to it miraculously, but keeps it going too. Still has the speed, fighting alongside Hagen right there. As Oxendine holds on to the lead. Big wiggle right there to Hagen, blocking that inside lane of Jordan Fisher. Kevin King going to try and make it work on the outside too and stick it. Back of the field getting pretty dicey. Halsey on the outside as well as Anderson. A couple of guys trying to get themselves into the front. Here comes Austin Salyers serving his drive-through penalty for causing that caution. Again, intense penalties, but necessary. As side by side here, Brady and Jordan Fisher. Couple of teammates here, Hagen and Blaze Crawford side by side. Kevin King, though, he's that man. Look at him go 3. Oh no, big bang here. Kevin King into the inside wall. Hard hit, can't hold on to it. Into Jackson Anderson. And somehow no yellow flag. Kevin King going to try and squeeze it on through and gas it up perhaps. Anderson keeps it going too. Anderson going to just stop on track and say, you know what? I'm just going to sit here. Not going to tow, not going to do anything. Okay, there he goes. Drives it off. Kills the inside wall, and there goes the engine. See you later, Jackson. Come back next week for Rockingham. Unfortunate, but no yellow. 2 cars involved in that, not 3. I'm sure we'll get plenty of comments about that later on in the Discord, but hey, iRacing did not throw the yellow, and unfortunately for Kevin King, man, huge hit. Let's see if we can find that real quick once again. It all happened so quick. Yeah, Kevin just into the inside wall. I mean, he chose to go 3 wide there on the inside. Just not a great move. I'm not going to lie. Not a great move. Jackson right there, unfortunately, could not. Little skippity-doo-dah right there. Up high into the inside or outside wall, but yeah, not going to be good. Unfortunate for those guys, but that can happen, right? Intense racing. I don't blame Kevin for making that move. I don't, right? It's so hard to make passes and to, get yourself in a position to make the moves, right? As look at this, James Thurston making a move here on the outside. This is what I was curious about, right? You get Wyatt away from the clean air in P1, and what does he have? Oxendine holding his own, which I kind of expected he would, but my question for him is, hey, what does that mean for his fuel, right? Later on. Oxendine holding it down, though, but yeah, really tough break. Kevin King in the pits, blown engine. Don't see that he'll be back into this race. Jackson Anderson, obviously, out of the race as well. Grant Solzano also DNF today. Unfortunate for a couple of guys, but that's what can happen, right? You force it 3 wide by Kevin King. Sometimes it bites you. And right there, unfortunately, was one of those cases. Has the win, though. Has a win this season. Actually, 2, excuse me. So, hey, not really worried about it if you're Kevin King. You're in the playoffs. Take a couple of chances. And right there, he did. Little bobble out Thurston right here. Kenny Bray. Oh, man. Almost made it work right there. These guys know, though, right? Hey, we just had 44 straight laps of caution-free racing. This could go green flag the rest of the way easily. They know they got to get their moves made now. Just checking in on Bowie. He is looking pretty good up there. Nice, easy race today so far to be race control for the day. Not too bad. But yeah, going back to that that no call for the yellow, right? iRacing throws the cautions here, but there's a rule that, hey, race control can throw the yellow flag if it involves 3 or more if I can talk, 3 or more cars involved, if that's the right word. So right there, obviously we saw 2, wrecked with Kevin King and Anderson Wright, but there weren't 3. And by 3 involved, we mean 3 wrecked. So unfortunately, it was just 2. So a no call yellow is the right call. That's how it goes. Rules are rules, my friends. And right now, Chad Oxendine not playing against him right now. Ooh, a little wiggle right there. Kept it going, though. But this right here, I feel like, look at him. This is the power of P1 and clean air here. You can just not get past. And listen, I get it, right? The car is not the greatest at certain tracks, and the track itself is kind of a pain. But hey, you deal with the cards you're given. And Chad Oxendine looking very, very good here to maybe get another stage win this season, potentially his first win. My question, though, for Chad, and man, I wish I could find his stats right here, but don't quite have them. How is he looking on fuel, right? That's the question for me about where he stands. I'm going to guess he has to pit here pretty soon. But either way, leading laps might be the strategy he needs to get going. But Tinsley, Thurston, Kenny Brady, 3 of the drivers in the Midseason Madness tournament. Again, looking to get that win as well. King, obviously, unfortunately, out of the race, it looks like. Definitely a bummer for him. Yeah, Bowie made a good point. Just again, getting with him real quick. Yeah, that caution, unfortunately, hey, only 2 cars involved, 2 cars wrecked, quote unquote. So no caution there. It was the right call, plain and simple. But Oxendine up front with a 25. What is that? 2/10 of a second lead. Definitely starting to cut down now. So Tinsley on the move. It looks like Thurston was really right there, but not quite. Let's go back in the field a little bit. try and get an understanding of where we're at. Austin Salyer's on track right now again. Had to serve that drive-through penalty for the caution caused right here on the lead lap. Looking like in 21st place. So he has to hold on to that to make sure that he can hopefully get a quick yellow and get himself back on that lead pack, right? Paul Mikulajczyk in the back as well, holding on. Villalobos Smecker right here. Smecker, man, he was doing quite good last season, man. Had just a generational run in the playoffs last season, from barely found himself in the playoffs to then in the championship four, man. He had a great run, and tell you what, that car, dripdrops.io, always looked good on track, and there it is right there. Always impressive right there. Our friends over at Drip Drops, man, took care of us for a long time, and we appreciate it. Austin Halsey right here in P17. Looking fantastic right now in 17th spot. Trying to make his way back through the field if he can. Michael Johnson got his lap back again. We saw him come down pit road on lap 12 for fuel and right side tires. We didn't really know what that was about back then, but seems like he is sort of figuring it out now. He's back in 16th spot. Definitely whatever strategy he wanted to try and run, I don't believe has worked in his favor, but the night is still young, so we will see if something else happens. About 33 laps to go here in just a bit. Kenny Reel next in line here in P15, looking pretty good. Quiet night for a lot of these boys, but so far, not too bad. Ethan Delaire had some pretty big left side front damage earlier in the race. We couldn't find out where it came from, but he is still holding on to it. Has had great runs these last few races, Iowa and Texas together. Definitely on the rise for Ethan Delaire, and he's a guy, man, that just started the sim not too long ago. I believe he said maybe a year ago, if I'm correct, maybe a little less than that. And he has just picked up on it, exactly what he needs to do with that Team Associated sponsored car. Looking good right there, making his way around Joseph Mealy. John Hagan, who's in 14th right now, actually. So that's definitely alarming. He was doing very good earlier on in the top three. I see some right side front damage. Let's get the cockpit view of what's going on here. Definitely some frustration, I would imagine, from the John Hagan camp, but little bit of a wiggle in the wheel. Doing the Macarena in the cockpit. I don't know, man, but potentially a very annoyed Hagan. I don't blame him. You know, you come off of a suspended race, and then here you are in 14th. But we know he's fast, right? That's the thing. We say it every week. We know he's a fast driver. Just has to figure it out. It's a matter of time. He can be that guy. Joseph Mealy, P12. Another solid performance here from Mealy. And I think this is what, I like about races like this, right? And I look at, like, let's compare our first, maybe not Talladega, because that was a great race, but look at the 4 races after that, right? They were rough. They were definitely rough. As right now we're seeing third spot Thurston and Kenny Brady dicing it up here on lap 58. 30 laps to go here until the end of this race. Oxendine still holding on to the lead, by the way. Very good stuff. Kenny Brady makes the move around Thurston. Gets the job done. Very good stuff right there for Kenny Brady. Looking pretty quick late in this race. Awesome. But one thing I was about to say about Mealy, right, as we're kind of going through the field here, Mealy, he's one of those guys that he's kind of gotten bitten by, those first 4 or 5 races where they were pretty rough, right, caution-wise and whatnot. These races, when they go green like this, and when the format kind of lends itself to long green flag runs and things like that, right? It makes guys like a Joseph Mealy, kind of feel better about their situation. Obviously, green flag racing in general can be maybe boring to a degree because there's not a lot of cars around you, or there's, not a lot of, exciting moves being made or maneuvers, right? But it kind of puts yourself in the mentality of, you know what, now it's more so on me. Because sometimes with caution races and messy races and things like that, you kind of get to a point where you might finish well because of the attrition, right? Because everyone else around you is wrecking, or, you get a lot of cars around you who DNF'd, right? In a case like this, green flag races, it's a lot more about you and what you do, right? How well you do on fuel and tire saving and patience, right? Things like that, right? All the small things, right, that put a race together. That can be huge, and races like this definitely can do that, as John Hagen looks like he's going to just Alt F4 himself out of the race, and that's it. I could tell he was upset. Little shaky shakes down the straightaway. He was in 14th, not doing bad. I'm going to guess there was some kind of, not wreck, but mishap in the front of the field that got him that damage, and he just said, you know what, screw this. Okay. Off we go. We continue. Lap 60, Oxendine still in the lead here. Has to come down pit road now, so here we go. Down pit road. I like this move, though, and I'll tell you why. 28 laps to go. He can go the distance here on fuel. Now, my question is, what do? 4 tires or 2 tires? If you think this is going to go green the entire way, I like 2 tires, but safely, you got to go probably 4. What does he do? Right side to go on. There we go. 4 tires it is for Chad Oxendine. Up front, we have Tinsley, Brady, Thurston, Crawford, and Cutlip in P5. Oh, Paul Mikulajczyk actually comes down pit road as well. Gets his services done. So I like this move from Oxendine. He knows now he can go the rest of the way on fuel. Very good move. Van Drugman, same thing right here. Comes down. This might force these drivers, these new leaders right here, Tinsley, Brady, Thurston, to come a little earlier than they expected to. Because right here, you know they've got a guy here in Chad Oxendine who can go the rest of the way on fuel. Now, I question if he can make it if we have green and white checkers, but the way this race is going, we're probably not going to have it, right? So Chad can go the rest of the way on fuel. Now it's on these guys. He had a clean pit stop. Can he stay out front of Wyatt and these top 5 drivers once the green flag continues? Max Brady down pit road, had to slide through that commitment cone. Hopefully no speeding there, as we see Halsey as well come down pit road as well. Smart move here, right? Everybody, we're within the fuel zone, the fuel mileage. So I expect a lot of guys to come down here at any time, but again, not a bad move to stay out in front, lead some laps, which Tinsley is doing. John Cutlip on the back end here of Blaze Crawford. Man, look at that middle corner speed, looking really good. Able to power down there in 3 a lot earlier. Look at this right here too. Yeah, he's giving up a little bit extra. Oh no! Right in front of him, Blaze Crawford. Blew past the commitment cone, snuck in too late. That's not going to be good. That'll definitely be a penalty for Crawford. I don't know what he was thinking there. I don't know if he meant to come down pit road there and didn't see Cutlip, but he should have been way down on the inside lane if he was going to commit to pit road. That's a big blunder for that 12, and unfortunately Cutlip might have gotten some penalty, some damage from that. We will see, but Thurston comes down pit road. We see Blaze right here as well. Expect him to have a hold of some kind. Kevin King in the chat. Oh no! Anyway. Kind of my reaction to Wyatt Tinsley comes down pit road right here, as well as Trevor Huff. Quiet day for Huff, but man, he has been looking pretty good. Very, very consistent. Always in that top 6 or 7. Very much like Cutlip. You know, always kind of lurking. It's just a matter of him to get through it. Yeah, look at Blaze Crawford. Has that hold penalty for sure. I believe it's the 40-second hold. Don't quote me on that. But yeah, definitely unfortunate for him. That'll ruin his races for sure today. Trevor Huff, Wyatt Tinsley. Do we see right side tires here? None for Huff. Oh, there we go. Rights for Huff. I expect rights for Tinsley. Yes, sir. So right sides for Tinsley and for Huff. We know Oxendine took 4. As Kenny Brady continues the lead right here. 24 laps to go in this race. So what does that mean for these guys? Chad Oxendine is in front of Thurston after that pit exchange. But look at this, right in front. Wyatt Tinsley on the 2 tires. Not that big of a gap, I feel like, between Wyatt and Oxendine right there. Again, 4 versus 2 tires. Can Oxendine get back around Wyatt? Van Drugman, though, found himself in front of Wyatt as well. So definitely a couple of big moves here. And this is why the green flag stops are so big, right? I mean, you just have to nail it. Races where you have plenty of cautions, you kind of get used to like, okay, I'll just pit under, you know, yellow flag and whatever. But right here, man, a race that has only seen 1 yellow, you have to just nail your pit stop entries and exits. Practice those. Make it happen. Kenny Brady out front as well still. Has not come down pit road yet. A couple of guys have not pit. Cutlip, Fisher, as well as Zelazny, Mealy, and Kenny Reel. Michael Johnson, Villalobos, Smecker, and then Ethan Delaire just came down pit road, it looks like. So he is right there. But Van Drugman will retain. Oh, maybe not. Wyatt's right there. Oh, my word, Van Drugman. What are we doing? Driving right down to this inside wall. Trying to snake that draft away from him. You could not get any closer than that. Van Drugman going to really push right here. As we're seeing Oxendine 2 under fire from Thurston. Both of those drivers took the 4 tires. Comes down to this, though, right? 20 laps to go. Just so tough. Van Drugman, by the way, was the stage 3. Whoa, Wyatt got super loose right there. Still loose. Van Drugman into the wall. Oh, man. Nobody's giving it an inch right now. Good Lord. Up in the front. Trying to recap a bunch of things right here, but Van Drugman did get that stage 3 win. Snuck himself to get that win, so that'll be 1 more playoff point. 20 laps to go. That's it. Mealy up front, Kenny Reel, Villalobos, all that have not pit yet. Fisher on pit road right now as well, servicing his car. Devin Smecker not pit yet either. This is a good move. I feel like if you're a, Mealy, again, any of these guys, this is smart. Get yourself as deep into this run as possible with your fuel mileage. I feel like if you go too far into this, you're going to get yourself in a position where you'll have to pit, right, for fuel, but you're probably going to drag in everybody else too with you. And then you're in the front of the field. So that might be a good move here if you're this top 4. Wyatt Tinsley, though, if we stay green, will inherit the lead. Followed by, for now, Van Drugman, Thurston. Chad Oxendine, man, those 4 tires didn't really work like he wanted to, but still in this thing. And then Trevor Huff right here in P9. So a couple of guys lost some time, some big time there. Kenny Brady, John Cutlip We're looking quite good in that top 5 if it were to keep going, but could not do it. So Kenny Real, Villalobos down pit road. Smecker and Mealy have not come down pit road just yet. So not bad though. Hey, look at this paint scheme. While we have the time, look at this thing, man. This is easily one of my favorite schemes of the season. Again, sucker for black and red. And again, another Harpoon designed paint. Wheels America Racing on it. Just super slick looking. Comes down pit road, so gonna give the lead up. And that'll inherit the lead over to Devin Smecker. 19 laps to go. Just praying for a caution right now. I feel like if you're Devin Smecker, looking to get what you can get. But Wyatt Tinsley, man, looking to get his 4th win of the season in 7 races. I have not seen this kind of dominance since oh man, season 4, I believe. When Brandon Six won 10 races in that season. Was unbelievable. And for the most part, every season we've seen a lot of variation in winners. Season 6, 7, and 8 all had, I believe, 11 or 12 different winners in each season. That was pretty wild. And that was a lot of fun, those seasons for sure. But right now, man, yeah, Wyatt Tinsley has come in here, even with all the high-level talent, and has just set the bar super high for these guys to try and cross. And, man, he is just looking so, so good. But don't discount Devin Smecker. He is up front right now in P1, looking to get himself a win this season as well. And get himself locked into those playoffs, but a little tough right now. We know he has to pit for fuel. Oh, look at that. You can hear it go into that cockpit view. Gonna clutch into it super early here on the backstretch, heading into 3. Just clutches it. Now, this is interesting to me. This tells me, does Devin think he can make it on fuel? I don't think he can. There's no way. We only had that one caution that came out on lap 42. Now, could he have pit earlier? And now this is the byproduct of that? Perhaps, but I don't think he did. So this is interesting to see what he can do. Still a 22-second lead for Smecker. We saw a couple of guys a couple of years ago, actually, a couple of seasons, season 6, I want to say, season 7, we saw a couple of guys make their moves to get their first win. Man, I think it was Roger Pierce who made the winning play. Actually, no, it wasn't. I can't think of it, but somebody did exactly what Smecker's doing right now in this race to get themselves the win. Held on for fuel until the very, very end, and man, it was pretty wild. We'll see. Long way to go. 16 laps, not a super long time. Man, it is. This race has just flown by. Never mind. Here he comes. Devin Smecker down pit road for the fuel and the tires. So he will give up that lead. So Wyatt Tinsley, he's the man once again. Tinsley up front, Van Drugman going to be in P2, followed by Thurston Oxendine, and then Kenny Brady right on the tail end of that 77. Closest racing on track right now. Actually, we'll do a quick run through here of the back of the field. Austin Salyers trying to hold on to that lucky dog spot right now, one lap down. Unfortunately, the driver who caused the only caution so far in this race, little spin out of turn 3, had to serve that drive-through penalty, and right now trying to make that way back up. Hopefully gets a caution here for him soon to get that lap back and try again at it. But Blaze Crawford, we saw him have that penalty. Right now he is one lap down. Excuse me, on the lead lap, but definitely way off pace and way off the lead pack. So not good for him. Max Brady, more issues for him as well. not a great run today for that dream team of Blaze and Max. Best buds right there, not having a great day today. Halsey still holding on to 16th. Smacker tried to make that strat work where a caution maybe came out, but didn't quite do it. 15th here for him. Mikulajczyk, solid run today in P14. I know he's not a big fan of these cars on this track, as he mentioned pre-race, but holding on to a decent finish today so far. Villalobos bouncing back pretty good, actually, after a beginning of the race penalty. A drive-through for a wreck from, penalty from last week. Not too bad here for Villalobos. Millie in P12 led some laps earlier on before the pit cycle. And right now trying to do what he can to get himself perhaps a top 10, it looks like, if that can be possible for him. Michael Johnson in P11. Had an interesting pit call earlier on in lap 12. Came down for right side tires and fuel. Curious to know what that would have looked like if the race went green the entire way. I feel like that might have been his best case. He might have been thinking that was the case there, but it's hard to tell. That was a strange call for sure. But not too bad. P11 right now. Maybe can catch up to Ethan Dallaire here for P10 to, again, cross into that top 10 right now. Ethan Dallaire had some big damage to the front side of his car, front and left, earlier on. Couldn't quite tell where that was from, but has bounced back, and the top 10 it is for him right now with 12 to go. Zelazny, P9, and Jordan Fisher, kind of a quiet day for these two, but still here in the top 10. A good finish, a solid job, as well as Cutlip. Looking to track down Trevor Huff. I feel like these two are kind of in the same boat. Every race week, I feel like Cutlip and Huff, these guys, I think one of these guys I feel like is the next to win out of the new drivers. Oh no, Van Drogman comes down pit road here, actually. Interesting. We saw him come down pit road with everybody else. I don't know if he didn't get enough fuel here or what happened, but man, that is just a big time bummer for Van Drogman's. Would have assumed he got all of his fuel and tires and whatnot, right? When he pit not too long ago, but this is, oh man, that's unfortunate. But Cutlip and Huff, you know, these guys, man, they are always, I feel like they're always side by side and always kind of in that top 6 or 7, looking to get themselves into that win column, but they're getting closer and closer. Cutlip has definitely shown promise earlier on. Huff has always kind of, you know, been in that top 5 or 6 section, so it's coming for sure, those guys. Man, Chad Oxendine, P4 today, looking very, very good. Every race, he has a chance to win, I feel like. He's the kind of guy that he just needs something to go his way. You know, he's won stages in most races this season so far. And he's always there at the end. You know, he's always going to be a top 3, maybe a top 4 or 5 guy. It's just a matter of, man, what does it have to take to get him that win? And it's tough. He's getting closer and closer. Just not there yet. He's making all the right moves and the right calls. He just has to find a little bit more speed, I feel like. Long run speed. And he'll be right there. Kenny Brady, P3 right now, I feel like he's finished 3rd the last like 3 or 4 races. He's always in this picture. And again, a guy who I can definitely see be our next winner this season. It's just a matter of making it happen, being there at the end, right? And Thurston kind of in that same boat. Last season's champion. We know how fast he is, how good he is. Just has to get the job done. But I think a lot of it is a huge credit to Wyatt Tinsley and just how good he is and how the bar is just so much higher. I feel like it is for him. He is just absolutely fast amongst these guys. We know other guys like Kevin King, obviously very, very fast, who can win any race, I feel like. But it's just a matter of, you know, maybe qualifying better for his behalf and being there throughout the race up at the front. Comes down to different factors. As John Cutlip maybe here makes a move around Trevor Huff. Yes, he does on the front stretch. They're going to clear him right there. 8 laps to go from Indianapolis. Great move there for Cutlip. Get himself in that top 5. Strong move there, but man, yeah, Wyatt just different level. 1.8 seconds away right now. The gap actually has closed a little bit, but not a whole lot. Wyatt just, again, on that demon time, as the kids say nowadays. Looking really, really good, really, really fast, and making his way around 7 more times to potentially get himself his 4th win of the season. Just on a different level, right? I mean, every once in a while we have one of those seasons where somebody just absolutely dominates, and right now Wyatt Tinsley seems to be that guy. Looking very stout. Everyone else, again, single file for the most part. Not a whole lot of close racing going on. Huff getting passed by Cutlip right there was the closest move on track not too long ago. Everyone else, though, pretty well spread thin here. So a race that has only seen 1 caution. But yeah, a lot going on today. 7 laps to go here from Indianapolis. And Wyatt Tinsley just on a different level than these guys. 6 laps to go now. But this is great, right? This race, listen, the feedback from the drivers after today's race, man, that was a good race. We got to race it out. We got a lot of green flag, pit stops. We got some good racing involved in there a little bit. A couple of great restarts and whatnot. But, hey, yeah, but we're going to hear also, yeah, I wish I had that, yellow flag to restart, to reset myself. The track sucks. It's too hard to pass. It's, you know what? It's all valid. It is all valid. But Indianapolis, either way, is just one of those places that is, it's legendary, right? And to have the ability to come here and to race on it, even virtually, right? It's pretty cool. So Wyatt Tinsley looking to get himself into a better situation for that Crown Jewel Championship. Again, this is that 2nd race of the 4. Looking to be really good in that. We'll crown that champion at Daytona. 2nd race in the playoffs. But then also, too, again, these pink labels on the side. Kevin King, unfortunately, out of the race. He was the 4th. But Tinsley, Thurston, and Brady, the 3 remaining for that Mid-Season Madness Tournament Championship. Head-to-head tournament we have 3 of those. This is the 2nd one of the season. And he is looking to get himself that win there as well. He won our first one, the Dash for Cash in-season tournament, but looking to go back-to-back in those tourneys. Man, just absolutely on fire for him. Next week, quick preview of next week. Again, the next 3 races, we go to Rockingham, the Charlotte Roval, and the Charlotte Oval. So we're doing our tour of North Carolina, our same state showdown, we call it. One more of our in-season tournaments for the regular season. It'll end the regular season as well. So seeds 1 through 16 all starts, and all are decided by the points after this race today. So top 16 seeding will go into that, and then next week there'll be head-to-head matchups at Rockingham, and then followed into the middle round at the Roval, Charlotte Roval road course, and then culminates at the Charlotte Oval for our Crown Jewel event there too. So should be a lot of fun. Always a good time. Rockingham, man, has been a blast whenever we've been there. It's a tough place, and especially in these cars, right? It's bumpy. It's pretty wild. So it is all good. We may have to go and talk to our friends over at Premier Setup Shop to make a setup for us, because these cars don't believe have a setup for that track. If they do, it's probably not great. So we're going to have to probably talk to our friends over there and get that done. But either way, 2.5 laps to go here for the Harpoon Design 200. Our Crown Jewel number 2 event of the season in the Mid-Season Madness Tournament finale. 2 laps to go Again, Thurston, Brady, Oxendine, and John Cutlip all in the top 5. Followed by Trevor Huff, Jordan Fisher, Zelazny, Ethan Delaire, and Michael Johnson all in this top 10. So great jobs by a bunch of these guys making good recoveries, especially Johnson and Villalobos, who had some penalties early on in some just weird pit strategy, but got themselves through. But today it's all Tinsley. Won 2 stages. Won the pole. Just at this point, stacking playoff points. Already locked into the playoffs, obviously, but with the 3 previous wins. But today, looking to get himself one more win to stack those playoff points. The white flag is out here. The Harpoon design. White flag, 1 to go for Wyatt Tinsley. In what was supposed to be one of our longest races of the season, these crown jewel events are always usually supposed to be way longer than our normal races this season. But man, only 1 caution today for a self-spin. And this race is about to be one of our fastest races of the season. Very quick, but man, I'll tell you what, just a storyline today. Great racing, great patience, and great racecraft can produce awesome racing. But look no further than Wyatt Tinsley. Going to come around 3 and 4 here, win his 4th race of the season here from Indianapolis. Dash for Cash tournament winner earlier on, and right now the winner today from Indianapolis, Wyatt Tinsley, also wins the Midseason Madness tournament. Trying to do a little drift right here. Couldn't quite do it, but big winner today. Wyatt Tinsley gets it done for the 4th time. Uh-oh. Thought maybe he wanted to ride the wall there like the that 38 car, Zane Smith, in in Kansas. Didn't quite do it. But big winner today, James Thurston, P2, Kenny Brady in 3rd spot. Big race today. Man, awesome time here. We're going to come back in just a second, folks. We'll talk to your top 3. Welcome back, folks. Kenny Brady right here finishes P3 on the day. We're going to bring in our top 3 as we lower the music here a bit. Right now it's cranking in my ears, but let's bring him in. Well, I'm sorry, Kenny Brady in P3. Let's bring him in. Where is he? Where's our boy? Kenny Brady. Where the hell is he? Here he is. Here's the man once again, Kenny Brady in the booth right here. That number 54 San Antonio Karting Complex machine finishes P3 on the day today. Man, hey, almost a green flag race. One little spinneroony about halfway through, and honestly, a good race for you. Attrition type of race. Top 3, man. How do you feel?
Yeah, another top 3. So keep on finishing 3rd, which is better than keep on wrecking, I guess. I don't know. So I'll take it. Really wanted to win, but Wyatt was just really fast. I could never get in front of him. So yeah, it was a fun race. Got a stage win. More points. So
yes, sir. Just stacking those points, looking pretty good, man. Hey, real quick, obviously a big race today, but go ahead. The floor is yours. Shout out your sponsors, man, friends, family. What you got?
Yeah, so on the car, San Antonio Karting Complex, and I got Wheels America on here, Southern Diesel Solutions, Wise Owl Wash, you guys for the broadcast, and then my girlfriend for watching every week. She enjoys the broadcast. So you do a good job commentating. So we appreciate you.
Hey, we love that, man. But hey, even better on track for you right there, right? Kenny Brady looking good. P3 again today. We'll see you next week, dude, from Rockingham.
Yep, see you then.
There he is, Mr. Kenny Brady, finishing P3 on the day. James Thurston going to bring him in next. Finishes P2. Let's go ahead and steal him real fast. Here we go. Where's Mr. James Thurston? Here he is, James Thurston, P2 on the day, our Season 8 champion from last season. Man, looking pretty good today. Just couldn't quite get there to Wyatt, it looked like, but he kind of challenged him, always in that P2 or 3 section of the race. Pretty good race today. Green for most of it. Obviously, that one little spin halfway, but good stuff, man. P2. How do you feel?
I feel like I should feel better. It's probably one of the worst second places that I've ever had. It's just you know, with the way that you can't do anything when you're second with this car. That's really what the biggest hurt is, because knowing, like, usually when I'm second, I finish second because I know that I was slower than the guy that won. But with this car, especially here, the dirty air is so bad that it doesn't really matter what you do. If you save your stuff better, if you run better lines, whatever you do is just, you're just stuck in second. You are stuck in second. If you get close, you basically have one shot to basically wreck the guy and get by, or you just kind of concede for second. But yeah, I don't know. I had a couple of shots there where probably could have, you know, fenced him or something to get the lead. Might have won the race off of it. I don't know. The last stop, obviously I made the right call doing 2 tires, but I don't know if I just took more fuel than he did or what, but he came out way ahead of me, and I didn't really expect that. I kind of thought I would at least be close to him on pit exit, but he really kind of had the lead that whole final stint. But yeah, good race from us, but he was better than us the entire race, so we still lost to him in the points. So overall, cannot be too mad about this, but I want to be a lot better than this.
Yes, sir, man. Definitely trying to defend that championship for sure. Still has the possibility of doing it. Hey, the playoffs are coming up. Definitely in a good position for that, even without the win. So good stuff today, dude. Give us a quick shout out of your sponsors, maybe friends and family. What you got?
Yeah, thank you to Cardano, Drip Drops, Moneda. I just love all of them making this beautiful race car go around. And yeah, I think that we got to get this thing in victory lane. These sponsors deserve it.
Yes, sir. Damn good looking car today. Always with Cardano. Looking good as usual, man. Hey, next week we'll see you then at Rockingham. Have a good week.
Thank you, sir.
There he is, Mr. James Thurston, finishing P2 on the day. Now we're going to bring in the winner once again. We joke about it every single week. Let's get him in. Here he is, Wyatt Tinsley, custom lounge chair right next to us in the booth right now. All self-embroidered Wyatt Tinsley. 4 wins on the season. I think you've deserved it at this point, right? You have your own chair up here now.
Yeah, it was a good race. Strategy was a little interesting there. Blaze was telling me, like, after the, I don't know, second stage or something, that Van could make, when we flagged to 40 there, that Van could make it. I'm like, I don't know. But all in all, I had a fun race. I wish the car had less dirty air, because I couldn't pass Chad after he stayed out. But I just had to, the fuel gods was in my favor there, because he had to take more fuel. And then, of course, I think I overfueled with my 2-tire stop, and I got behind Van. I just probably had more grip than him. But all in all, I had a lot of fun. Excited for Rockingham next week. Continue this momentum. I think we're 3 in a row. I don't think has anyone done 4 in a row before? Or 3 in a row at all?
I did, we've had 3. Oh yeah, we've had 3. I don't think 4 though.
All right. We'll probably lose next week.
I'd like to point out, sir, that last week in Victory Lane, you said, oh man, Indianapolis, that's like one of my worst tracks. And here you are leading most of the race. You won the pole, won 2 stages, I believe, out of 3. So
I forgot about the 3rd stage, to be honest.
True. So you're kind of that guy. You're him today.
I think in part it was the clean air.
Fair.
I think,
okay.
Honestly, Chad and James, and especially Kenny, were all pretty much just probably the same pace as me, to be honest. I just had clean air all the time. And then I realized that firsthand when I got behind Chad. I was like, yeah, I need to pit before Kenny. So that's why I honestly forgot about the stage, to be honest. But I guess it worked out in my favor. And then I was like, I'm just going to take 2 tires because I know it probably won't make a difference at all. But yeah, all in all, I led 55 out of the 88 laps.
There you go.
So solid. And I won both stages. So I think plenty of playoff points. I'm not really looking about points. I just need these playoff points. I'm trying to get as many playoff points as I can before the playoffs in case I miss a race or so.
True.
You never know
Yeah.
what happens down the line. The future is never set in stone. I could miss a race by sleeping. So I'm just trying to try the best I can. And it was fun racing, everyone. I think I should apologize to Van, and I appreciate him for not driving through me. I did, when I slid up in front of him there, I lost all my grip in the world. The worst thing I've ever felt in my life. I had no wheel at all, and I appreciate him not driving through me during that standpoint. But I'd like to thank Matthew Fleming again for the 4th time this year. I think I'm thinking of a race for letting me drive his car. The 20 machine is on rails, hopefully like it is in real life. And then I think Wise Oil Wash for being on the car. He's very happy that I'm winning all these races with his name on it. So, yeah.
Hey, we love that dude. Great looking car. And hey, go ahead.
One more thing. Sorry, I didn't mean to interrupt you, but we won the Madness Showdown. Do I get another trophy?
You beat me to it. Yeah, you do. You get another trophy.
Oh, my bad.
Yep, 6 trophies. Again, sponsoring all those trophies today. They're in the.
Is the cash prize the same?
It is. Oh yeah, you get some dough. You get a 6th trophy. Currently being in production, actually, in the creation stage right now. So excited to show those off here in a couple of weeks, and gonna be pretty sick. So yeah, looking forward to that. A couple of trophies on your way. Hey, we still have next week. We start the same state showdown, right? Rockingham Oval in the Oval. So you might go for the hat trick with those, right?
Yes, we might be. When we try to sweep that, we'll do our best. I don't know who the 16th seed is going into the race, but obviously it'll be a good race between them. But yeah, just keep collecting those playoff points, and we'll keep moving on. Hopefully have more cars next week. I think Rockingham should be a good race. Hopefully, we'll see how it goes.
Yeah.
But all in all, I appreciate everyone watching. And thank you again.
Hey, yes, sir, man. Hey, go and celebrate that again. 3 straight wins. Good stuff, dude. Have a good night.
Yep.
Well, there he is, Wyatt Tinsley again, P1 on the day. Big win, number 4 on the season. Man, just absolutely on fire. You love to see it. Haven't seen this type of, this domination since I feel like season 3 or 4, with Brandon 6 winning 10 races that season. Last couple, man, like I said, we've had 11, 12 different winners these past 3. But this season, Wyatt Tinsley just in a league of his own. So awesome to see, as usual. Next week, we move on to Rockingham. Always a fun track. We've been there twice before, and always a good time. So we're going to go ahead and sign off today. Wyatt Tinsley, your big winner today for the Harpoon Design 200 here from Indianapolis. Again, join us next week on Tuesday, 9 p.m. Eastern Time. And hey, you know what? Go ahead, hit the like button, subscribe button. It helps us grow and helps us reach more people. So we love that. We love you guys. And hey, have a good night. We'll see you next week.